My daughter lost her mom too, when she was young. Too young to remember much of her at all, I'm guessing. But from what I can tell, she turned out to be a really good person. The truth is, we're all struggling to figure out what kind of people we are. Jane included. She'll understand, I promise you. Sometimes a person hurts so bad, all they can imagine is that everyone wants to hurt each other. But it's not true. You're not alone. I know you want to be alone right now. But trust me, that'll pass. It always does.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm glad we came here.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bonnie Banter. If this is your first time being here, this is essentially a show where I give you my opinions on everything and anything. It's really just school projects and movies and TV shows that I really enjoy. And one of those that we're going to be talking about today is Doom Patrol. Now, I did a video on this 4 years ago when the first season of Doom Patrol came out. It was really cringe, don't watch it. But I still hold those opinions true. It's been 4 years, the show has had 4 seasons, it is finally concluded. And I know I'm a bit later to the game now, but I like to own all of my physical media instead of just watching it digitally. So of course, I was finally able to buy all 4 seasons of it and watch it through a few times actually, because this show is so goddamn good. And I'm going to be telling you all my opinions on it today and why I think that you should be watching it. One of the things that I love most about the superhero genre is when we break out of the, whatever you want to call, the Disneyfication of everything, where you follow the same story pattern every time. Good guy comes in, has a few really terrible jokes, gets their powers, adds more jokes. They end up finding a villain who has no good motive other than wanting to do something large scale, like take over the world or the universe. Good guy beats them, and everyone goes home happy. Shows like this break that mold, and they do what I like to call my entertainment out of superhero genre, which is when you have not superheroes, but you have people with superpowers. This show focuses a lot on humanity and what happens when people are deprived of their humanity. I like to say people with superpowers instead of super people because, like Spider-Man, probably for the greatest example, when someone who has superpowers is still facing the absolute most atrocious things that human beings can go through, whether it be loss, identity crisis. In this show, there is a heavy depiction of sexual harassment and assault. Things that characters are dealing with like these that help them figure out who they are and where they fit into the world, especially in Doom Patrol, where they start out as villains, is what makes this such an incredible experience.
Stop it! Stop it! You destroy everything! I will not let you destroy him! I hate you! I hate you, you filthy, disgusting man! I am not afraid of you! I am not afraid of you! I am not afraid!
Sweet, sweet.
The whole show is, the premise is 4 people united under one man named Niles Calder, also called Chief, brings these people together as experiments for what is called the Immortus Project. The Immortus Project is what Niles Calder is working on to essentially give himself immortality so that he can live just 1 day longer than his daughter, to see her grow and develop and spend as much time with her as possible, at the cost of ruining some people's lives. Or so that's one side of it. The other big dilemma with this is that he is not just taking subjects that have a good life and contribute something well to society, he's taking narcissistic assholes and giving them immortality, trying to find ways to get it himself, whatever that best way may be. And the subjects that he selected are people with some really haunting pasts. And that's what grounds this in reality. And it does take 4 seasons for this show to wrap up and for you to really see the transformation of these folk and how you end up rooting for them in the end. I knew I needed to make this video as soon as I finished season 4 because I cried 5 times during the last episode and I bawled at the ending. This is one of those shows that has actually had an absolutely perfect ending, and I wouldn't change a thing about it because everybody got something out of it, and yet everyone still hurt just a little bit. And you get to reflect on these hour-long episodes, at least 12 per season, to just see what the characters have endured and how they're facing the consequences of their past actions, finding themselves, their identity.
No, this is not who you are, Morris. You're a man. This place, these people...
No. You don't get to tell me or anyone else who they are ever again. I am proud of the person I see in the mirror. My face is beat. My look is flawless, and I am dusted from head to toe. The only thing I am not is scared of you.
All of these characters keep getting chances, and they keep getting hurt by any opportunity that comes along, whether it be them doing it to themselves or by some other interjectable means. Part of what makes Doom Patrol so interesting is the weird quirkiness of it, where you've got characters traveling across time and space, you've got butt apocalypses for whatever reason, sex ghosts, going and finding places like the underground to deal with identity crises with multiple personalities, and it even has a super cool imaginary friend called the Candlemaker who can jump into other people's minds and kill off personalities.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But anyway, the basic plot synopsis, if I can actually stay on track for once, which would be crazy, I know. Season 1, we find out that all of these characters have been brought together under Chief Niles Calder, who is very slowly introducing us to their backgrounds as he gets kidnapped, and the characters think, well, we can't do anything without him. We need answers. We must go and get him. Season 2, we get to see a bit more of why nobody really likes Niles and the bad things that he's done in order to try and preserve a relationship with his daughter, who ends up being a magnificently powerful being that has been locked away for 100 years and is still a little girl trying to develop. Season 3 kind of fell off for me, not gonna lie. There was a point in Season 2 where I thought this is ramping up to be something really great. I still think Season 1 is probably the best, but as you can see from my own copies, my version of Season 3 is still sealed. I watched it online and I never opened it because I did not want to go back to it. It does introduce Madame Rouge, though, which is a famous DC villainous shapeshifter. And then Season 4, we get to see everything actually come full circle, how these characters deal with losing their longevity in the face of Immortus, and we get to finally see if any of these characters are actually worthy of redemption, or another huge theme in the show, is anybody really worthy of love?
Now that I think of it, there is a relationship I'm going to tell you about.
Go on, go on.
It's not a traditional relationship per se, but there's something inside me. I wouldn't say we're friends, but there's definitely a connection there. And for years, I didn't know what it was or what it wanted, but now I think I might.
All of this and more under some really cool looking conditions. I thought the budget looked kind of low for this show. People on Reddit, as far as I've seen, have said somewhere between $40 and $80 million per episode, and the show got canned because apparently the writers saw the writing on the wall and they decided to wrap up both Doom Patrol and Titans at the same time, ending with the season 4. There's a weird trend with shows going to season 4 and stopping right now. This one works. I don't know how the others do. I haven't seen Titans yet, but I am actually probably going to be watching that after this because I love this show so much. DC has had a few bangers. I wish they'd bring back Swamp Thing, but that is a video for another time. Some other themes that come up in it are bad parenting. There's a theme of vengeance that keeps coming up, and what happens with karma when something like that comes into play. Is there any real karma? Do people get what they deserve? Does everyone deserve a second chance? And those second chances maybe even turn into thirds and fourths. And it's not done in a repetitive way that hurts to watch over and over again. If you can stomach the dark and gritty stuff that's in this superhero show, you absolutely should if you get the chance to. You can find it on HBO Max, but I am a very big advocate of owning all of your media that's digital, owning physical copies of it, because you end up having it for life, and it's not like you're, paying a subscription just to get a little piece of a licensure for a little bit of time. But you absolutely must go and watch this show. I would love to have a conversation with anybody in the comments after watching it, if you do decide to give it a chance. I know binge watching something that's got hour-long episodes can be kind of painful and tedious for some people, but it's absolutely worth it and a must-watch. I have not read the comics yet. I do have a couple by Gerard Way back here, who is the same author of Umbrella Academy, and probably better known as the lead singer in My Chemical Romance. I'm going to be checking that out after this because I loved the show so much. And keeping that theme of being grounded in reality with real people going through real human suffering is something that I will always enjoy, that you don't get to see a lot of these days, especially with the bigger budget Hollywood films. Go check it out if you're interested. Thank you all so much for watching this, and I will see you in the next one.